Welcome to the session on Python flow control. Any program has a flow, and the flow is the order in which the program's codes execute. The control flow of a Python program is controlled by conditional statements, loops, and optionally function calls. We covered the basics of conditional statements and loops in this session. Let us start with the conditional statements. In conditional statements, we have if statements, if-else statements, and if-else statements. Let us take a look at one by one. To begin with, we start with the basic if statement. Let us say we have a variable price at 100, and we want to check if the price is less than or greater than certain value. What we do is we write the if clause followed by the condition you want to check. So we want to check if the price is less than 100, and this condition is followed by a colon. Note that when you give a colon and you press enter, the cursor takes you to an indented position. That signifies whatever code we write here is a part of the if block. So if I say print, the price looks quite okay. In case the condition price is less than 100 gets satisfied, then the statement the price looks quite okay gets printed. Let us run this code, and we see that nothing gets printed. The very reason is price is 100 and we are checking a condition if the price is less than 100. However, let us copy this piece of code, paste it in the next cell, and we change the price value to 90. Now you see the condition is satisfied. So when the price is 90 and I'm checking if the price is less than 100, which means the condition is satisfied and the statement the price looks quite okay gets printed. We can also check anything like greater than or less than equals to. So if I say price is equals to 110, and we say if price is less than equals to 110, I say print the price is affordable. Now here you see I am giving a condition to check less than equals to, and because the price is equals to 110, the condition is satisfied and hence the statement will get printed. We can also use the if statement for negative values. Say for example we have temperature as -10, and we want to check if the temperature is less than 0. I print a statement saying it's too cold out there. Now what happens is, because the temperature is -10, which is less than 0, the condition is satisfied and hence it should get printed. Let us now move into the if-else statement. Now I have a number which is -1, and I want to check if the number is greater than 0. I say print the number is greater than 0. I also want to check if the number is not greater than 0, then I want the code to do something else. So what I do is when I press enter, please note the cursor is again indented because it assumes that you are going to write more code under the condition number greater than 0. So what I do is I press back, I take the cursor to the level where the if statement is, and I write my else condition here, and I say print the number is less than 0. Now you see here what it does is, because the number is -1, the first condition under the if statement is not satisfied. So it moves into the else part and it prints the body or the code that belongs to the else part. That is, the number is less than 0. So when we run this code, we get to see the number is less than 0, because that is a part of the else statement, and in this case the else statement gets satisfied. Now let us take another example. Say we have a variable number which is equals to 8, and we check the condition that if the number is greater than 0, then we print the number is greater than 0, and we also check the else condition, which means if the number is not greater than 0, which means it can be less than equals to 0, we say print the number is less than or equals to 0. Now please note that I am having another print command which says this line will anyway get printed. Please note that the print statement which says this line will anyway get printed is not part of the if-else block, which means that this print statement is not indented. It is not a part of the if block, neither it is part of the else block, which means if we run this code now, the condition is checked. If the number is greater than 0, it satisfies the condition that the number is greater than 0, which is 8. So it will print the statement that the number is greater than 0. On the other hand, it will also print the last print statement because that is anyway not part of the if block. Let's run and see what happens. Let's run this piece of code, and we see that the number is greater than 0 is printed because the condition that the number greater than 0 is satisfied, and the last print statement is also printed because that is anyway not part of the if-else block. We will now take a look at if, elif and else statement, where we can check multiple conditions. In this example, we have a variable age which takes an input from the user which says enter the age. However, as we know that the input statement will convert the entered value into a string, we would convert this string into integer with the int function, and then we check the condition if age is greater than 0, however less than 3, we say the fare is 0 for age group between 0 and 3. We also check another condition now with the elif statement, and we say if the age is greater than and equals to 3 and less than 10, print the fare is 10 rupees. Elif 10 less than equals to age, which in other words, age is greater than equals to 10 and less than 20, we say print the fare is 15 rupees. And if the age is greater than equals to 20, we put that under the else condition and we say print the standard fare is 25. Now when we run this piece of code, it says enter the age, and suppose we enter 14 and we press enter, the condition that age is greater than equals to 10 and less than 20 is satisfied, so it should say the fare is 15. We can run this code once again and we enter 3. Now you see the first condition is age is greater than 0 and less than 3. If the age entered is 3, is that condition satisfied? No, that condition is not satisfied. So it goes to the next statement where age is greater than equals to 3 and less than 10. So it will print the fare is 10 rupees. Next, we take a look at the while loop. While loop is a looping condition that can help us iterate the same code again and again for solving a certain purpose. For example, we would like to write a program to find the summation of all natural numbers till 10, which means we would like to say, I want to add 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 and so on till 10. How do we do this? Let's take a look at how the while loop can help us in summing all the natural numbers between 1 to 10. We say number is equals to 10 and the summation is 0. Why do we have to say summation is 0? We will be adding these values and storing the values in the summation. But initially, the total is 0. And we also say I is equals to 1. This I is nothing but an incrementer. So this can help us increment the iterations. So let's see how do we use the while statement. Very similar to the if statement, while statement is also followed by a condition. Now the condition is, we say that I is less than equals to number. What does that mean? It means that I is less than equals to 10. We will continue doing something. So we say summation is equals to summation plus I, and we say I is equals to I plus 1. Now what will this do? So within the while loop, the summation becomes the previous summation plus I. What is the current summation value? It is 0. And what is the value of I? It is 1. So 0 plus 1 is 1. So summation becomes 1. But in our next line, I equals to I plus 1, we are incrementing the value of I to 2. Now this looping condition will continue till the condition is met. What is the condition? The condition is that I is less than equals to number, which means while I is less than equals to 10, this 2 lines of code within the while block will continue to repeat. Now we would like to print the value of the summation. So we come out of the while loop and we say the summation is, and with a comma we pass the variable name. So when we run this, we see that the summation is 55, which means if you add the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 till 10, you get a total value of 55. This is how the while loop works. Next, we see the for loop in Python. We will be performing the same operation again, but instead of a while loop, we will use the for loop, and let us see how it works. So in the previous case, we have taken number equals to 10 and we have iterated I till the time I has reached the value of 10. Here, instead of assigning a fixed number, we will take a range of numbers. So we say number is equals to range 1, 11. This range 1, 11 will generate numbers sequentially from 1 till 10. And we say summation equals to 0. Now, in the while loop case, we were required to initialize a variable I and it was required for iteration. However, here in the for loop, we will not need to initialize I. What we can do is, with for, we can say for I in number. Now what happens here, we know that number is a range of values starting from 1 till 10, and when you say for I in number, it takes up one of the numbers each at a time. So we say for I in number, we say summation is equals to summation plus I, and we come out of the for loop, we say the summation is, and comma, we use the variable summation, and we run this code and we see that the summation is 55. What we have ideally done is, we have used the while loop, we have used the for loop for the same operation. We wanted to add sequentially the numbers from 1 till 10. The only difference is, in case of while loop, we have given the condition saying I is less than equals to 10 or I is less than equals to number, and this condition is prefixed, it is predetermined. Whereas in the for loop case, if you see, we have used a range, and when the for loop runs, it doesn't know what is the limit. In while loop, it knows the limit is 10, but in for loop, it doesn't know the limit. So it keeps on iterating till the end of the range. Thank you. Happy learning.